everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kat, and for today, we're going to be taking a look at two different indie brands. We have the Break the Rules palette from the itsBel Cosmetics company, and then we have from the Alien Cosmetics company, the Serendipity palette. So I am super duper excited for both of these. We're going to swatch both of them. This is the Break the Rules palette. Lots of really awesome shimmers on there. The Serendipity palette looks like this guy. Also some awesome shimmers, but some really interesting looking mattes as well. And so we're going to create two different eye looks. One on this eye and one on this eye, as we do. So I am just really excited for us to jump right in on this. I think we'll start with the itsBel Cosmetics one because I have really been waiting for this puppy. I did the pre-order like a hot minute ago and I just got it and I was like, okay, today's the day. So here we go. This color story already, I mean, there are a couple greenish ones in here. There's one that's like looking in the pan like it's gonna be silver and blue, which I'm all about it. All right, you know what? We're just gonna jump right in. First shade up is going to be a pinkish shade called Bold. Okay, it is, ooh. Okay, it's got a pink to like a corally orange shift. You can see a little bit of red on there as well as my hand is turning. Very cool. I like that a lot. Next one up is going to be Stay Radical. Okay, not quite as opaque as the Bold shade. I'm gonna do a second layer just to see if we can build up opacity. You can. Man, these are super soft too. Very smooth. So you guys are seeing like a almost limey green to orangey gold kind of shift. And then as I am looking at it, I see pink with some blue bespecklement on there. So there's the shade. There you go. You can see a little bit more of that pink on the top end there. And then just as I kind of pull where it's having a little bit of a tough time focusing, there you can see a little bit of that blue bespecklement. Then we have one of the first of what looks to me like a green shade. And this is Not Listening. Also a bit more sheer, so we're gonna double up on there, build it up a bit. I am seeing green to like a pinkish shift. All right, very strong green in the camera with some gold shift on there, but I am definitely getting like a lighter pink version than what you would get with this middle guy. Yep, see, as it's trying to focus, you can see a little bit of that pink shift up top, but very pretty. That is a nice shade. Almost getting like a little bit of a blue shift on there as well as I turn my hand. These are definitely super like smooth soft. Like I don't want to say soft in that they're crumbly because they're not crumbly at all, but they are just very soft to the touch. Almost like you're touching like silk. Next up is going to be Make Me, and that looks like a cross between like a burnt rose and a purple. Yep, you can see very nice, like lighter lilac shade. And then I'm seeing some gold speckles on there, but not a huge shift. So I think that's just really just a lilac-y type shade without a ton of shift on there. Maybe ever so slight of like a light pink around the edges, but primarily just that lilac purple shade. All right, next shade up. Ooh, this one is a bit softer, so be gentle on the palette with it. This is Go Rogue. I'm sure Rogue is like, what? You said my name? All right, very sheer. Wow, it's like really hard to see in the camera. But it is like a pink to purple to blue shift. You can almost see, I think you guys are catching mainly that light blue, which is what's making it hard to see. Let's come in. There's more of the purple that you can see now. A little bit of the pink shift at the end, but very pretty. I'm loving this green. This green is super pretty. And speaking of greens, we have another green coming up. It's a little bit of a darker green, and this is the shade Eager for More. Oh, yes. Ugh. Okay, so it's like a green to blue kind of shift. Very mermaidy vibes is what I'm getting. You can definitely see the green to teal blue. I really like that shade, but no surprise there really. Next up is gonna be, ooh, this is the shade that was that like silver to blue in the pan that I thought looked real interesting. It's Your Choice. Okay, also a bit more sheer, and as I am looking at it, definitely not blue to silver. It's more like blue to purplish pink. Of course, as you're looking at it, that is not at all what we see. We see the blue to silver that I was talking about. Next up, we have a deeper red shade, and this looks like it's gonna be quite a bit more opaque than your choice was, and this is Rebel. Oh yeah, that is about as opaque as you're gonna get. It doesn't look to me like it really has too much of a shift. It is just a sheer scarlet red. All right, and then the last shade is just Watch, and this looks like a pink to like a burnt rose to like orangey gold type shift to me. Yep, pink to kind of goldish, and the pink is that burnt rose type pink, so not hot pink like this guy. It's a bit more subtle of like a burnt rose shade. That's a really pretty shade. So this is the entirety of the Break the Rules palette. Very, very pretty. I mean, this green is just absolutely stunning, but I'm kind of wondering, since we have so many different pink and purple shades to choose from, if I might go down that route. I think I might. We'll have to wait and see. But let's go ahead and swatch the Serendipity palette from Alien Cosmetics next, before we get into the eye looks. So that is this guy. Definitely some deeper tones on there with the matte shades, which I really appreciate. We all know that I love to be able to deepen up the eye looks, give them a bit more dimension. And so we're gonna swatch that on this arm. Does this have shade names? It does not. So I'm just gonna tell you what the colors are. All right, first one up is what looks to me like a bit of like a deeper red. And, ooh, okay. Definitely very nice and opaque. I am seeing like a burnt gold shade, and then you guys are getting that red. So let's see, there you go. So that is what I was seeing as I was looking at this burnt gold to kind of yellowish tint. And then as you rotate, you're getting more of that deeper red shade on there. And it's a very nice opaque shade, and you could easily build that up. All right, next up is going to be the first of the matte shades, and this looks to be like a really nice evergreen green shade. Yep, very nice green, a little bit darker than like a grassy green, and so I think that's really nice to also deepen up a look a little bit. And then the next shade is even deeper. This looks to me like a nice deep maroon shade. There you go. Yeah, that is really, really pretty. I think this guy combined with that would give you a look that has a lot of really nice dimension. But I feel like we're gonna end up going with a green look on here because there are several very nice green looking shades on here. So I might end up doing like the reddish pink look or purpley with this one, and then we're gonna do a green one with this one. We'll have to wait and see. But the next one is another shimmer. And this guy is more of a greenish shimmer, but it definitely has quite a few shifts on there. So, and you're like, that's not green, that's like orangish brown. And then as I'm looking at it, I am seeing the green, but also like a reddish undertone to it. All right, so we're seeing yellowish, limey green to kind of an orangey brown. And then the next guy, I really have no idea what this is gonna pull like because it looks like a very chunky glitter. Not quite glitter, it feels like it's gonna be a chunky metallic with like purples, blues, and reds. So I really have no idea which way this is gonna go. Here we go. All right, that, even though it felt chunky in the pan, went on very smooth. I am seeing pink to purple. You guys are seeing like a light orangey, I think, with like a brown, like a bluish topper on there. So there's the pinkish purple that I was seeing. And then as you come, yep, you can definitely, that guy has all of the shifts on there. Not quite as opaque as the other shades thus far. So this is definitely more of like a topper shade because it's a bit on the transparent side. But you can definitely, I'm sure, build that guy up to a decent amount of opacity. But texture-wise as well, it's one of the lighter ones, even though in the palette it felt super chunky. So not what I was expecting at all. All right, next one up is another one of the green shades, and this guy looks to me like it's gonna be a lime greeny shimmer. Yes. I was correct for once in what I thought it was gonna be. That is definitely just a really pretty lime green shimmer. Then the next one is going to be a red shade, and this feels a little bit more dry and rough in the pan. Okay. And it's not swatching like a matte shade, it's swatching a bit more like a satin, so it has like ever so slight of a sheen to it, but almost close to what I would think a matte would look like. So we're gonna call that a satin. All right, then next up we have two matte shades, and those are the last two shades in there. The first one looks to me like a very deep olivey green. Yeah, I think that's what's gonna end up being. Oh yeah. It's a nice olivey green. Yeah, so I'm really impressed with the level of depth of the shades. And just because, like on this guy, we have the red and then the bluish green shade, and then everything else is very much lighter shades. But on this one, a lot more depth to it. So the last matte shade is going to be a really nice mustardy yellow shade. And that guy looks like that. Just a very nice matte yellow shade. It will be interesting to see as I use that shade if it keeps the amount of pigment that it has or if it loses it, because with yellow shades it's really tough to keep that level of opacity sometimes. So we'll see how that goes. But I think we will jump into the two eye looks, and so I think that we will do the itsBel look on this eye and then the Alien Cosmetics look on this eye, so that we stick with the arms that we swatch them on. I think we'll go into the Alien Cosmetics one first, and so I am going to jump in with the greenish matte shade that is this guy, and we are going to start that off. Or we could go yellow to green on the top and then smoke it out with the darker green on the bottom. Yes, I like that more. We're gonna do that more. So we're gonna start off with the yellow. I did decide to end up coating the entire eye. And then we'll just apply the green on top. But I do think that it has a decent level of opacity on there. It does start off pretty sheer, I will say that, but very easily buildable to a good amount of coverage without being like so bold and in your face, which I think is kind of nice. And so if you are looking to just start to play around with colors, if the rest of the shades perform similar to this might be a really good palette to start off with. So we're gonna jump into the green next. I think we're gonna keep the yellow mainly above the lid, and then I am going to slowly add in the greens just on the lid, so that way it kind of all comes together where the yellow is just framing it around the edges. So we'll go into that green next. All right, that applied on top real nice. All right, I think on the under eye, I'm gonna take that same green, and we're only gonna start on the first half with that. And then on the back half, we're gonna go into the deeper green shade. And then I'm also gonna pull that up a little bit to the top of the lid. All right, and because there's no yellow on my under eye, this shade is also pulling a little bit deeper already. So we're gonna end up getting like 4 really nice distinct shades because of that. So I'm gonna go into the deeper green shade next. I'm gonna add the lime green as like the pop of color on the inner corner, and then I'm gonna go into this metallic shade ever so lightly as like a topper on the inner piece, but I really want to be super gentle with that because I don't want it to completely overwhelm and remove the green that I have on there, because since this guy does have an interesting shift to it, in the pan it's looking green and I'm like, yeah, that's totally gonna go with the look, and then as soon as you put it on you're like, that's not at all green. Well, as I am applying it, it's looking green. And then let's go ahead and dab the inner corner. All right, I'm gonna tight line real quick on this eye and then throw mascara on and we will be back with the final look. But I am really liking how she's going so far. This is super pretty. All right, and I am back and I gotta be honest, like I really like this. I think it's a little bit more like simplistic than what I normally do because normally I just go absolutely crazy with all of the shimmers and everything else. But I just think this is like a really cool greenish look. I purposefully went with a bit more of a lime green on the tight line so that way it would meld better with the top of the lid, which is a bit more lime greeny as well. But now we're gonna move on to itsBel and we're definitely gonna do like a pink to red to purple look is what I'm going for because that's like half the palette right there. And it's gonna be like all shimmers. There's not a single matte to find in this palette, so it's gonna be a real glittery look. Okay, so we're gonna start off with this guy, which is the Stay Radical shade. Then we're gonna go into this hot pink guy, Bold. And then we're gonna blend it out with just Watch. And then the under eye will pull a little bit purple with these two guys right here. We'll see what happens for the inner corner. I might end up using this kind of bluish to pinkish purple guy. I'm very interested to see how opaque they are as you apply them. We're gonna go into Bold and we're gonna see what happens as we blend into that. They definitely aren't quite as easy to work with as some other shimmers that I've had before because they're very transparent. You have to do a lot of building up and then they don't want to like blend together quite as easily as I would want, but it's looking super pretty now that I've built it up some. But like as easy as this one was to apply, this guy I'm having to work a little harder. So that's just something of note. Well, hello. Falco decided to come say hi. There you go. There's Falco. Falco, say hi. Yes, good boy. In case you guys needed some puppy hellos. There you go. All right, yeah, we're gonna try just Watch on the back end there and see what that does. I feel like the hot pink, like as bold as it was looking on here, I don't know. It is like has lost its boldness as I've blended it into things. So I'm gonna do a little more dabbing into that and then mixing it in the back, see if maybe that brings some of it back. I mean, so it's looking real pretty. Like this color combo, I think looks gorgeous. I just think like I'm a little thrown off with how the shades are looking in comparison to what I was expecting, because I was not like this guy I was definitely not expecting to have as much of like a green shift to it as what I am seeing, and then I was expecting that hot pink to pull like way stronger than what it is so far. But I mean, it's super pretty. You cannot say it's not pretty. Just not what I was expecting. Unexpected. All right, we're gonna do the bottom eye next. And for that, we're gonna go more into the purples. So we're gonna start off with Go Rogue, which is the lighter of the two purples, even though in the pan it looks like the deeper one. Go figure. And then we're gonna go into Make Me, which is this guy after that. And we're gonna see what happens. This could all look completely ridiculous by the end of this. Who knows? Yet again, a bit unexpected with how it's going. So I think that honestly, this is like one of those perfect instances of how swatches are like really unreliable sometimes, because the way that all of this was swatching is completely different than what I'm getting on my eye. What is on my eye, I would say, is actually far more true to color to what I was seeing in the pan. And so I think that's really interesting, because like the Go Rogue color in the pan was looking like deep purple and blue, which is what I am getting on my eyes, for sure purple and blue. Whereas on the swatch on my hand, I was getting like very light, like pinkish purple and very transparent. And much like with this guy, how it on my hand looks more like light pinkish. And of course, as you guys are looking, you're like, what are you talking about? In the pan, that one looks like a burnt orange with like a lime green on top. And that is the shift that I'm getting on my eye. So these shades all are very true to what you see in the pan. Let's make that a note. So the back half of the eye, I'm gonna go into Make Me. That's gonna be the lighter of the two purples, so we'll see what happens with that. At this point, I'm like, again, I'm not mad at this eye at all. I think it's super cute. That shade also pulled very similar to how it looks in the pan. This is what you're gonna be getting. First time ever that my swatches have failed me. That being said, the inner corner, we're about to throw through a real loop because I'm gonna go into your choice, which in the pan is that silver to blue. Okay, that sealed the deal for me. What you see in the pan with the itsBel Cosmetics palette is what you're gonna get. I would love to know what you guys are thinking of this, because like, it's rare that my swatches are not what ends up happening and that what I see in the pan is what ends up happening. So I would love to know what your guys' thoughts are. I am gonna tight line and throw mascara on, and then the look will be complete and we will be done and we can see everything. All right, we are all done, so I'm gonna come in close so you guys can see all of the glittery effects on my left eye. Again, I think it's real pretty. I love all of the different shifts on there. Just threw me through a real loop on that one. I would love to know what you guys thought of everything. What'd you think of both looks? Which one did you like more? What'd you think of the formula, how they were performing, swatches versus reality on the eye? I want to know all your guys' thoughts. Have any of you picked up either of these palettes, and what did you think if you did? Both are really amazing indie brands. I love them both. And so yeah, that was that. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Thumbs down if you did not. Let me know either way. And if you made it to the end of the video and you have not yet subscribed, I would sure love it if you would subscribe. Come join my family. I'm not gonna say too much, but I may or may not have another giveaway coming up soon. It's primarily dependent on mail, which as we know is right now a little crazy, but once the mail is delivering some stuff to me, I will be doing another giveaway. So make sure you guys stick around for that. But other than that, hope you guys really liked the video and just go have a good one.